Hi, my name is Simone Torres. I'm a vocal producer, engineer, and artist, and we are here today at the Cold Part with Audiopunks, and we're going to open up some sessions.
I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me?
So today we're going to open up a few Becky G sessions that I have. Her feature on the Libianca record People, which I really loved getting to do with her, and then also her feature on the Michael Brun record Coming Your Way. And we're just going to dig in, see the layers that are there, see like what goes into it and how many vocals really are behind things sometimes.
Now did you notice me? Holy Father, no me dejes caer. Te lo pido, no me dejes. A veces se ve gris el amanecer, pero hay cosas bonitas a agradecer. Llueve por dentro pero no aparento. Quiero correr y alejarme de todo. Solo quiero luz, que mi paz mental no sea un tabú. El que se fue que se vaya y lo bendiga Mesaya. Solo necesito un break pa' mi corazón. Cause you see people don't really know you. They don't really know you. Cause you see people no te conocen, no te conocen. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Or did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Or did you notice me? I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Or did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Did you notice me? Did you notice me?
I really love this record so much. I think that the lyrics in Spanish are so beautiful. As we were playing through, we wanted to make this so that she can seamlessly flow with Libianca, but then also still have her spin on it. Libianca's voice is a little bit rounder, and we were trying to make sure that Libianca and Becky could really like go together quite well. So like I think that we did a good job of that. So like the hook, for example, they're all a combination of them. So we have like Libianca's vocal and all of Libianca's backgrounds, but then we have
I've been drinking more.
We have all Becky's. It's stacked up. So each one of my background bounces here. This is my vocal session to mix. So each stereo track is like a stack of 4 that's bounced down. People ask me a lot, like, how are you EQing your background vocals? Like, are you EQing differently? And the answer is yes, but also it's being EQ'd in the way that it's sung. So if I'm doubling, I've been drinking more alcohol, I'm not going to have all of my doubles be exactly that. They're going to be fighting for the same space. I want them to be wider, so I'll have them smiley and breathier. I've been drinking more alcohol. So that's in a way EQing it, right? Like you're starting to like kind of dip it a little bit and you're like adding more air, and that allows things to blend better. So we have that going on. And then if you go down,
did you check on me? Now did you notice me?
Yeah, that's cool. And then we had this.
Check on me. Now did you notice me?
Yeah.
Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Now did you notice me?
I love that. Now did you notice me? That's really cool to me. Because we already have Libiancas that are there, and we're just amplifying and making this Becky's as well. Becky is so amazing in the studio. I can ask her to sing things in the stratosphere and ask her to sing things in the basement, and she's great. We really had a lot of fun with these backgrounds. I think that there's some more stuff that goes on here. Let's see what's happening over here. Oh, yeah.
Y lo bendiga Mesaya. Solo necesito un break.
Solo necesito un break.
Solo necesito un break pa' mi corazón. Cause you see people
I wanted to like make that where we're building up the harmonies and we're doing all these layers. And then she's like, I just need a break for my heart, right? And so like when it comes back to break for mi corazón, it's like, oh, it's sad and it hits harder because that is bare. She's not surrounded by all these harmonies. And I guess like you can also have that mean like people, you know? But yeah, all the vocal parts, whenever I'm doing sessions, people want to know like my strategy for like what I know to double. And it's really just what I feel. So like if we go through here. I just want to double the end phrases because without. Nadie va a entender la paranoia, ni el dolor debajo mi piel. It's good too. Porque hay días que no puedo, en mi pecho un vacío sin yo querer. It's where do you want emphasis, right? So when I'm giving this to the mix engineer, they can bring these down if they want to, like especially these beginning ones. But it's really there to create like that weight of those lines, like to be able to create the feeling of them being there without you being able to like super hear that they're there all the time. So that's the strategy for background vocals like that. As we begin to build. Cause you see people, no te conocen, no te conocen. Yeah, so let's see what we have going on. No te conocen. Yeah, I like the. No te conocen. No te conocen. No te conocen. So pretty to me. I love background vocals so much. It's my favorite thing to do. Sometimes when I go in to do a session, if it's a record that like when I initially hear it before we go in and I'm like, ooh, I hear these background parts that I want to make sure that we're getting, I will record dummy ones before we go into the session so I don't forget those parts. And I'll just have those so that when we're moving really quickly and tracking background vocals, I know, okay, I want to get this part. A lot of it I come up with just when we're there. It's like whatever feels good to us. Becky comes up with some. It's the same thing like with her ad-libs, right? There's Libianca had this beautiful template for us with her ad-libs and like places that we could go in, and trying to make it so that Becky's felt married to that was really cool. So like what we're doing here. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room. I love those. Did you check on me? Did you look for me? I love those. I think those are like so cool. Like they're so subtle, but it just like adds to the vibe of everything that's going on. It's not like I am an ad lib. It just feels like a vibe. And that's the whole thing. All for the past 5 days. I love that too. All for the past 5 days. Things like that are really cool because it just feels like it's a vibe. I'm not saying here is an ad lib. Without it, alcohol for the past 5 days. It's cool, but like with that ad lib, it feels like, oh, I'm just there and like in the moment of the song. Drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes already. Yeah, it's so pretty. And there's so many layers like as we go on. El que se fue que se vaya y lo bendiga Mesaya. Solo So in the demo, that was just one vocal. I thought that would be cool to make that more of a moment that's felt more affected so that the lines around it were more impactful and it was more of like an ear candy thing. So we layered that up. Luz, que mi paz mental no sea un tabú. El que se fue que se vaya. Y lo bendiga Mesaya. Solo necesito un break pa' mi corazón. El que se fue que se vaya. To add like kind of like an ethereal kind of thing going on, something like really affected up there, I thought was cool. And then there's the, yeah, just the really breathy and then there's the, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like layers of affected stuff, honestly, to make it feel like that. The end I really love because we're just really playing with her ad libs and like her having her moment there. Like once she goes up the octave here in singing the hook lead, I think is really beautiful.
Now did you notice me? I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Did you notice me? Did you notice me?
I love all the ad libs that we crafted for this one because everything is so intentional.
Did you notice me?
So beautiful. The way that her vibrato goes over is so cool.
Did you notice me?
So sick.
I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you check on me? Did you notice me? Did you notice me?
So pretty. I love this record a lot. Okay, so when I'm doing my session, first thing that we're going to do is we're doing the lead and we're getting the lead down. We're making sure that it feels good. We're not like doing the playful stuff that's around it yet, like the ad libs, everything. We're making sure that lead is good. Then we're going to go into background vocals. We're going into doubling. We're doing all of that. We need to have a lead that feels good before we're doing that because we need something good to stack on. So I'm comping and I'm doing editing in between us doing that. So like take 10 minutes, whatever, and I'll pull the record together. Once we start building things out though, it's not so much like, oh, here's a formula of what we do. It's really just what feels right. If I know, okay, I want a line in the song to feel more impactful, I'm going to make sure that I'm supporting that in some kind of way sonically, be that taking away all the background vocals from it, be that like adding more background vocals. And if maybe I'm just doing octaves and I don't want to really add harmonies there yet because I want it to be able to, maybe it's coming from a bunch of harmonies and then I want it to go to a single vocal or vice versa. For this record, the way that we're coming up with all the harmonies, because this is such a record that's like, it's a vibe, right? This song kind of went viral for a while because it just makes people feel good. A lot of the times, like I'll have my lyrics up and I'll just be like, okay, underline this word, this word, this word, this word. This is where we're going to be doing those harmonies, or this is where we're going to be doing those doubles. Then we do the ad libs at the very end because once we're doing ad libs, that foundation is there. The rhythm of the background vocals, right? The tightness of them that we need for the hook or whatever, that's there. So then we can play some more. But even when we're in the background vocal process, some of the background vocals will be like counterparts. So they're like playing with the rhythm already. Records like this are interesting because it's a duet. So we already have that basis of there is a locked in chorus already that we're singing to. We don't have to like really make that pocket. We just have to not mess up that pocket. It gives us some more leeway to be able to play earlier on, which is really nice.
I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days.
That's so cool to me. I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days.
For the past 5 days, did you check on me?
Now
Did you look for me? I walked in the room, eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga.
And so that's like kind of an odd harmony part to have. But again, like that's just like what felt good. Like I didn't say, oh, I need to be a third away from whatever. It's just what feels good.
I've been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Now did you look for me?
I think it's so cool when you can have those like Easter eggs of background vocal parts that like, you're like, ooh, this gives it lift. I don't really understand why it's giving it lift, but you're feeling it more than you're hearing it sometimes with these backgrounds. And it's really cool. When I listen to something, I listen very lyric-centrically and very vocal-centrically. Obviously, I'm a vocal producer, but our job is to convey that story of the song, making sure that the emotion is coming through of the vocal. So that's also going to inform what I'm doing background vocal-wise. Like, so the piece that I pointed out before, how I made Solo Necesito un Break like big and like stacked harmony-wise, and then un break pa mi corazón, like individual. That's really intentional because it's like that overwhelming feeling of like, I just need a break, whatever. I want to represent that sonically and vocally. And so I'm painting that picture. It's my job to make sure that that story is being told. The lyrics are really, really important to me, and they absolutely inform not only my comp choices, my coaching, my background vocal choices, the mic that I'm using, like that emotional story is my job to portray. The way that I comp differs per artist. So some artists want to be more involved with the comp. Some artists don't. When I'm being brought in to vocal produce, it's because they're trusting me in my ear. So I'm comping. I'm just comping without them. Normally I'd be like, okay, great job. Go get some water, go take a break. I'm going to comp. Yeah. And they come in, I'll play it for them. If there are any spots that they're just not loving, then we'll fix that before we go in and do our background vocals so that we can make sure we're working on a good base. And then there's other artists that are more hands-on and want to be involved in that comp, but that's like a lot more rare, I will say, just because when I'm brought in as a vocal producer, it's because of my expertise in that area. And so they want me to do my thing. And then we make sure to build it together. Like if they're not liking something, absolutely. Because it's a warmer vocal presence. We did a Telefunken 251 into a Neve 1073 into a Tube Tech CL1B. I'm hitting the compressor really more so just for color of the tubes than I am for compression. I make sure that my compressor and my pre are right next to me at all times because I need to be able to be adjusting and then straight into Pro Tools from there. So when I'm tracking the vocal, I make sure that I'm not like too plug-in heavy on what's on the record track because I want to be able to really hear what's going on. So the things that I'll have on my chain while I'm tracking are pretty minimal. Normally I'll have auto-tune on because again, that's all about the comfort level. Some artists love it. Some artists don't like it. I always make sure to ask before I'm working with an artist if they're okay with that on. It's really helpful even if you just put it in chromatic mode, so it's not even pulling to a key, but it's just helping the ends of those phrases, especially if you have retune speed a little slower, humanize on, and flex tune. It's taking the ends of those phrases and just pulling them up a little bit. Just helps that psychology of feeling like, oh, okay, I'm doing well right now. I sound good. So then you start to perform better. It is so much about psychology, vocal production. That's it. And then I have my sends to different effects down there, but I'll dial that in like as we're getting like the first take or so. So I'll have a reverb, a delay, two different reverbs, a darker one and a brighter one. So I have a hall and a plate set up, literally just reverb, a few different delays. So I have like mod delay, that's what this one is. And then H delay at different intervals and a ping pong. A doubler and a flanger, but like they're not turned on, it's just for if I need them, depending on what I'm using. This template is really nice because it gives me a really nice starting off point so then I can make it really whatever I need it to be. And then I have my ad lib tracks as well. And then that's treated differently and it's a lot more reverb heavy and I have Pan Man on there so that it's putting the artist in that world already. So like when they're singing in that track, that's fine. I want them to be in that world. They're doing ad libs already. It's all about being able to get to where you want to go with like the least amount of effort because you want to be able to stay in creative brain. At least for me when I'm vocal producing, I want to be able to stay in creative brain and the technical side is an extension of my creativity, right? The artist will ask me for something and I have to be like, okay, hold on. It's like, no, like there's only so many effects that people want. So if you have them set up, you're most likely going to get some version of that. And then if you're most of the way there already, and then you can dial it in, it's really great. And then that also doesn't take them out of their creative space, which is really important. So this is another feature that I did with Becky on a Michael Brun record coming your way. It was Michael Brun, Becky G, and Anne-Marie, and it's such a fun record. Yeah, this one's more of a party vibe. Figured we'd show something different. So let's go from like B's part and go from there.
One shot, one kiss, papi, ese es el juego. Quien gana ya lo vemos luego. Ya tiene reserva mi habitación. Tú pides el carro, yo le pongo ubicación. Me miras y me dañas la mente. Aunque lo niegues, hoy eres mío. No es que me tengas caliente. Es que a mi lado el sol está frío. Tú tienes lo que busco, yo tengo lo que pides. Si me das una noche, haré que nunca se te olvide. Tú tienes lo que busco, yo tengo lo que pides. Si me das una noche, haré que nunca se te olvide. Oh, wait. Baby, let me meet you, baby, let me come your way. Just if I can leave, we'll call it, so it's not no way.
So for a record like this, I want to be getting more vocals than I think are needed because we don't know where this is going to end up, right? So I have my session with B and it's another artist record. So I'm going to be making sure that I'm getting extra ad libs because we want to just make sure if production is changing, if the song is getting elongated, if there's another part they want to put her on, that the material is there because we don't know if we're going to be able to get back in, right? So it's my job to make sure we are capturing the information, right? There's a lot of really cool things happening here. Let's look at this part. She's saying like, it's going to be a night you can't forget, right? And so trying to make it that so that has more impact. The music drops out too. But we stacked up these background vocals on that. My normal doubles, then there's manipulated ones of B that I made, and then I did background vocals on this one too. So lower ones that I did, and then like it's funny because those are like those are up there in the stratosphere, but they just feel like there's a lift when there's the record. You're not like hearing that like totally. So I love things like that, and I do that a lot in my vocal production. So the low lows and the high highs, things that are felt more than they're heard. The same thing here. I love this. I think those are so fun. So adding the high highs, again, it's just the feeling, not heard, really cool.
When I do it like that, no way you can explain it. Yeah. It's your lucky day. I'll be coming your way.
I love this. I love how she ended on the lucky day, we coming your way. It's like such a like impactful thing.
It's your lucky day, I'll be coming your way.
And then I have a quarter note delay on that to have it just feel like a heartbeat. Ding, ding. It is so fun to do all these background vocal parts. So like here, that's cool. Come on, that's sick. So with the music, so yeah, I love background vocal city. So let's break that down. So that it's caliente and it's really important to pay attention to what harmonies are already there, what background vocals are already there, what vibe is already there. And it's my job to just take that and then make it the artists that I'm working with. So it's a lot of detail that goes into vocal production. And I think that's one of the things I like the most about it. There will be things in the acapella that you'll hear and you're like, oh my gosh, I never heard that before. But then it becomes like your favorite thing. When I'm being brought in to vocal produce, the writing process is done most of the time. So it's really the end where then we'll go in and it's just like a bunch of like freedom passes of just ad libs and whatever comes to your mind. Sometimes we'll end up doing some backgrounds there or recutting something or whatever. But once we have that like framework, absolutely, there's room for those things. If you're just starting out as a vocal producer and you're looking to get into this, I would urge you to not downplay the importance of psychology and just treating people with genuine empathy and kindness in your sessions. Making someone feel safe and not just making them feel safe, but creating a genuine safe environment for them to record in is so much of the game, because as a singer, you are your instrument. There's no separation between this is my guitar, this is my DAW, this is my thing. You are that, right? So when something goes wrong, it is very hard to separate the two things. Creating that safe environment where mistakes can happen is so important, because sometimes that's where our best things lie, right? It's in something that we're not used to doing, but like we're pushing our comfort zone and we're trying something new, and you feeling safe to do that is so much of it, because you're going to get a much better performance out of someone that feels good, taken care of, and safe than you are than someone that's like a little nervous or whatever. So really make sure to pay attention to that. And I'm always a cheerleader in my sessions. If you watch any of my workshops that I've done or seen any of the sessions that I have up, it's always yes and it's all genuine. It is so, I love what I get to do for a living so much. It's not that I'm trying to get the artist to give me something. It's that we're working in partnership, right? So when they do something right, I'm really excited. I'm going to show that excitement genuinely. Okay, so then the third session that we're going to open up is to one of my own songs. And I think it's really cool to show the difference between vocal producing others and vocal producing yourself. There are a lot of things that are in common, but then there are things that are a lot harder about vocal producing yourself. When you're brought in as a vocal producer, you're brought in for that objectivity, for that skill set that you have. But it's because you're able to take a look at that record and objectively say, okay, this is what's good for it, this is what's not good for it, etc. For your own stuff, it is very hard to keep that objectivity, especially as a vocalist. I was vocal producing for years before I was able to vocal produce myself. I just feel like I'm getting good at it in the last few years, genuinely. But the cool thing is, when you're vocal producing your own stuff, there's a lot of room for experimentation and just like to play with stuff. So when we were looking at the other sessions, I was showing you how my sessions to mix, each of the background stems are a bounce of 4 backgrounds. So it's per part. This is still that, and there are a million, okay? But that's because it's mine, so I could be like, oh, Vocal City, it's fine. Who cares? It's what I want. This is just my vocal session to mix, so this isn't the fully mixed song.
I got too comfortable with the uncomfortable. I let you down, I know. Can't too much self-control. No, you preferred when we had no boundaries. When you could control me. Oh, when you muted me. Been down, been kicked around. Shoot up, spit out, swear. Sorry now, I don't do that kind of thing. Build your up until it rains. I let your light control my days. Let myself in different ways.
So before we even go further, some of my favorite things are like the ad-libs in this section. So I want to play this a cappella a little bit because there's so much going on vocally here. So let's see. For verse 2, right? I was like, I want to have some kind of pad that's going to carry me because it's like a little bit more vulnerable part of the song. And then it builds into this big thing. So vocally, let's see how we get there. Let's listen to just a cappella. So.
I got too comfortable with the uncomfortable. I let you down, I know. Can't too much self-control. No, you preferred when we had no boundaries. When you could control me. Oh, when you muted me. Been down, been kicked around. Shoot up, spit out, swear. Sorry now, I don't do that kind of thing. Build you up until it rains. I let your light control my days. Let myself in different ways.
I had so much fun doing the vocals on this song. So this is really cool to me because it's a random thing that I just sang when I was doing the demo. The and then like that going into the I think is so cool because we're just creating textures. Also, the cleanness of the background vocals here, the ooh,
Ain't too much self-control. No, you preferred when we had no boundaries. When you could control me. Oh, when you muted me. Ain't Can't do it.
That is so cool to me because as we open up the vowel sound, it starts to get dirtier, right? So it starts with the ooh, right? And then we go
Control. No, you preferred when we had no boundaries.
and then the vowel opens on the ah. And there's so much going on there that I think that's so cool because it's just like, to me, it's showing the power. And that's the lyrics there are saying, love, no, you preferred when we had no boundaries, when you could control me, loved when you muted me is when it goes to the ah. And I think that's really cool because, again, what we were talking about before, it's being able to convey the emotion of the lyrics and the emotion of the song vocally. I used a sample for the choir part initially, and then I rebuilt it on my own. The vibratos, I want to make them really wide because when you're creating a choir, the more differences that you have, the more it's going to sound like not just you, right? So I'm changing the tone of my voice, my vowel shape a bit, and my vibrato speed throughout all of these. So I'm like, and I'm making it so that I'm almost yawning, right? So I'm really raising my soft palate. So being able to change that stuff is really cool. So I'm not gonna walk through all these because there's so many of them, but if I just solo these. Come on, that's so cool. I think that's so fun. So in order to like build something like this, if you're looking to build a choir sound, things that I would pay attention to are making sure you have different tones of voice. So if you can do different characters, that's cool. Like if you can do like breathy, you can do deep, you can do whistle, amazing. You know, all those kind of things really, really helpful because and even different distances from your mic sometimes really help to create that vibe of, okay, this is a bigger thing. I normally do them all right in front of my mic, but it's the characters, it's the speed of vibrato, it's the tone of your voice. All of that changing is going to make it sound like a cohesive thing that is not just you singing a bunch of parts. I also will add a lot of randomness in there. So like instead of it just being like all of them being some version of ah, right? So some version of one no and then another no. I have ones that are the opposite. I'll go ah. I also have things that are like
Loved when you muted me.
oh, that's the lyric. Okay, I have
Loved when you muted me.
random.
Loved when you muted me.
Like some of these are just random and like because they're random, it helps make that thing sound like a thing. So like it sounds like I'm kind of underwater and that was kind of a mistake, but I kept it because it's so different and random and that helps with that cohesiveness again. When I'm building choirs, I don't think, okay, I need a third here or a fourth here and a fifth here. I'm not thinking that way. I don't create music that way. It's just what feels good to me. Speaking of textures for sections like that, I want to make sure I always end up putting something in the stratosphere when I'm trying to build something that big because that's going to give that illusion that it is open, like that it is bigger than it even feels like because you're putting that thing there and it almost kind of creates headroom in a weird way. I'll show you. Where is it? That's happening there and that's really cool to me. And then having things like that, if you can sing them, great. If you have to affect them, great. Like, doesn't matter. But like having things up there that are those kind of ear candy things that are felt and it's making it feel like, okay, that headroom is there. For the background vocals for the end section that I didn't play yet, I think it's kind of cool because they're all character. I wanted it to feel not so much like big choir like we just built that I was showing you. I wanted it to feel like chanty, but charactered out. So...
Some days I can't breathe, strangled by anxiety. Damn, it gets so hard to sleep. My potential taunts me. I've been waiting patiently to be my priority. Makes me nervous when I'm doing, then I struggle going under. Some days I can't breathe, strangled by anxiety. Damn, it gets so hard to sleep.
Oh, this was cool. Okay, wait, two things. One, the character thing that's happening is kind of interesting on these background vocals.
Be my priority.
Those are my regular ones. So I'm going to stack my regular ones as well. Yes, let's see what else I did.
Patiently, to be my priority. Makes me wonder what I'm doing, and I struggle going under.
So I have them going through Decapitator, and they're distorted, and they're a character voice. So I was singing like that, and that like adds to that strength to me of that part.
Some days I can't breathe.
And then I took that same character and I did the octave down for that as well.
I've been waiting patiently to be my priority. To be my priority. Makes me wonder.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but the character-wise is really cool when you're trying to build a choir. Also, there's a part here where the organ goes, na, 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 and I thought it was cool, so then I did this with it. And it's like vocodered out.
Some days I can't breathe. Change my anxiety. Till it gets so hard to sleep. My potential's haunting me.
So there's a lot of Easter eggs in this song, a cappella wise, because there's just so much going on. All of these vocals are my vocals. All of these vocals are also just recorded in my living room. The ability to record yourself is really, really important. I think that it really helps to let your creativity just go, to have that freedom to make mistakes, like whether it be with a vocal producer, whether that be on your own music recording at home. It's all in just being free to just do stuff, because you don't know what's going to end up being something that you like, and you're only going to start to learn what that is in that process of trial and error. You want to like try to fail as quickly as possible in most things that you do, so you learn what not to do, you know? And I love to use vocals to just amplify the message of the song. If you're looking to become a vocal producer, just make sure that you're really paying attention to that psychology of things, because that is so much of the job. The tools are great too, obviously, right? Like you want to make sure that it sounds like a record already in their headphones. That's also going to increase that comfort level for them. So if we're getting ad libs, and if I had my artist just on a track with no effects on it or anything, they're not going to perform as well as they could if they're already put into that world, right? Where they're like already feeling like this is where it's going to sit in the track already, mix-wise, in this world. So now I'm changing the way that I'm making my choices.